Friday. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of repair on my hatches. I'm going to be epoxying in some, what are they called, sleeves or inserts or something. So basically it's the aluminum inserts that I'll put into the hull of into the deck, and then you put a screw in them so that the screw goes all the way down to the bottom. And then when you put your hatch in, you'll put all your screws and you kind of line them all up, and then you let the epoxy harden, take the screws out, and then you can actually bolt the hatch down. So that's what I'm going to be working on here today. I'm going to be using the West Systems 105. I've still got some 205 hardener. It's pretty hot here today, so I think that I'm only going to get 10 minutes working time, so I'm just going to do one pump. Mix it with my Oro 403, which I like using for this activity. And these are the microfibers, and then that'll basically stiffen it up. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it into this little bag, and then we'll see how quickly I can do this to fill up the holes and put the inserts in. So I'm just going to, before I do the pumping, I'm going to just get a little bit of green tape, and I'm going to tape the bottom of each insert. I'm just going to put it in a little bit so that way the screw has room to bind inside, and then pull it down hard without bottoming out. So I just want the epoxy to kind of fill around it, and there's a bit of a lip on I don't need it to be in the insert. So I'm just going to tape the bottoms, put it in with the epoxy, and then what? I guess let it dry, yeah. So hopefully there's enough battery left in the camera to do that, so I'm going to give that a try here today. Hopefully we can learn how to repair a hatch. And this is just basically to stop the epoxy from going into the screw threads. I don't need them in. I need the epoxy holding this insert in place. What I'm doing here is just pressing the epoxy out of the bag, just like squeezing icing when you're making little stars on a cake. And I've left the screws in here initially just to help with the alignment. So afterwards I put the hatch on top, those little washers, and then I reset the screws to hold all the inserts straight. It's just these deep ones here. I'm going to have to suspend these or something. When I drilled out the old base inserts and then I replaced them all, the reason for that was that they leaked. So I wanted to just start over. So it was one of the reasons why I did that. So I drilled it, filled it with epoxy, and it was primarily for trying to control leaks. So right here you can see that I've got the screws with the hatch on now going through. So after applying them all, this is actually how I've gotten them straight. So basically with the hatch on, I was able to put all the screws into all the inserts, and then I knew that it'd be straight. Alright, so that's how I'm doing it. We'll see if this works. Basically drilled out all the holes, filled them with epoxy, put the inserts in with all the screws sort of sitting in there, and they are aligned. So then afterwards I should be able to pull these out, pull the screws out, re-silicone it back down. Good morning, Sunday, May 31st. I'm at the boat. I'm working on putting my this is my Genoa track in, and I'm using the SIKAFLEX 291 LOT, the long open time marine adhesive sealant. So basically, at every screw hole, I put the sealant around the hole, and then I replaced all the screws with the stainless bolts. And then what I'm doing down here, so what I'm doing is I'm basically just putting these in here and hand tightening them down. Decided to sand down all of the grab rails and just re-epoxy them. These ones here, the finish is worn off, so they were getting pretty, I don't know, they didn't look good. This one here, I actually had a couple pieces that were cracked on the top. The screw hole wasn't really quite in the center, it looks like, even here. So, I don't know if you can see that. So what I want to do is I just want to create some, or make some epoxy, and just epoxy those pieces on in place, and then retape them again. So I'm just going to make a small amount, and then after that sits for a bit, I'm just going to go all of these pieces down. That way they've got a fresh coating of epoxy on them. So that should have my light. Here's a little tip. If you take 2 tie wraps, you can put one around the screw, and then you can put a second tie wrap through it, and you can use that to get a screw mounted tie wrap. I put the tie wrap backwards, or I didn't put it backwards, but it spun around, I think. Either way, that's okay. I just need to hold this thing up. The last one's always the hardest. This is my new wind instrument. So I got this mounted earlier in the season, so that looks like I got it pretty straight actually. this is my old indicator here. So this is my wind direction, and then this is my wind direction, and then that's the cups that gives me my wind speed. And then here's my also wind indicator for where I am on my sail pitch. So, and new LED light, and I'm gonna look for my VHF antenna now. Does not want to go, so let's start with the red. This looks like it's going to be tight. These are like slightly smaller. And I'm not going to silicone it because any water running through here will run through on the deck from now. So there's no danger of water getting inside. Now it's mast stepping day. Whew, that's up, balmy 28 Celsius. I'll tell you, this temperature thing sucks. It's been going up and down, but it's so hot. It is June, but it was, we didn't get much of a spring. It went from cold, 5-6 degrees, to like 20. Anyways, the guys are putting the mast up right now, so I thought I'd run and grab the camera. I didn't have it with me. Stay out of their way while they get it up. Explain what you're doing. And maybe shoot your mom there too.
Don't shoot me. Never shoot your mom. This is not a Disney movie. You want me to go lower? Is that okay?
Go right on the line. Don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to take this anode off and put a new one on because this one looks pretty beat up. So I'm trying to put this one on. This is the original color, and then this is what it looks like. So, I got you. What do I do with this? Right? Oh, that worked. That really worked. Oh. And that will shoot mom. That literally is the right good camera. So apparently this is too small to fit around this pipe, so we have to go back to the store to buy a bigger one. This one is 7/8, so We need a bigger size than 7 8. So I'm just okay. So I'm just putting the bolts back on, and then Dad's gonna return it. Just wipe. Yeah. Okay, so right here, Mom, what are you doing?
I am applying green tape, painter's tape, to the side of the hull. This is the hull.
Oh yeah.
Because we're going to be applying a fresh coat of paint on the underside of the hull.
Yeah, where all those patches are, because Dad had to patch them up. So now Dad has to paint them again. So, yeah. So that's what you're doing, Mom.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Mom, it turns out I was recording upside down the whole time. Say it again. So here, Mom is almost finished one side of the whole boat. Yeah, she's almost finished.
Alright. Wood underneath here. And come down here.
How is that gonna work?
Oh. Hang on. Oh. I gotta do this one too. Okay. Oh. Go slow. Just go slow. Slow and steady. Okay, so now go find the other ends. And you're gonna have to fish them backwards now through there.
Oh my. Oh, it's recording.
Photobomb.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the finished product. So the edge of the table stand will be here. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that up and put it on the wall once I get the base built. So I just put this in here just so I know where the form is. And then the last piece of wood here is going to go right there. So wires look good. So these ones go in and connect in on that side. And then I've got the mid-lower light, anchor light, mid-running light, and deck lights. And these are all coming in. So the last thing I have, but I have 5 wires. So I need my Raymarine kit. Or I could just splice them together, but I don't want to splice them because I'll need to take them apart every year. But the wind vane has to get connected up with the other half of the wind vane here. So those two have to get connected together.
I'll just wait until Mom's finished, because then we can go home.
Really? You'd be so heartless as to leave your father by himself. Oh, for the next an hour and a half. He gets kicked out of the marina. That's how dedicated he is.
He gets kicked out? Like they actually come and tell him get out?
Yeah, the security guy comes over. Hey,
Get out.
Dad. You know it's 8 o'clock now? And Daddy's like, oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, even though he like checked the time, okay, it's 8 o'clock, still got a couple more minutes.
Pretty much. Before they come and tell me to get off.
Yeah, and then the guy
Get
comes,
out.
and then Dad's like, oh,
Too big. The second power switch is the running lights. And now fuse in there. There's 2 lights to check, David. Yeah, the lights, the one that you hooked up. The one that's in the The compass should turn on.
Huge moment of success time. I don't see that one though.
It's right there.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yay, it's glowing. Glowy, glowy.
Great, what do I do?
Hey, yep. It's glowing.
You done resting?
All these screwdrivers and everything just stay down here?
Wait, is that it?
Oh, that's the first one.
First one?
Yeah, now we got to do the bow lights and then the one up the mast. All those are supposed to turn on at the same time. 5 lights. Yeah, there's no start button except for the on, off. It's always on. You don't have to go boom and start it like the old motor. It's just going, yeah, and it's quiet too. Like you shouldn't really hear anything except for the timing chain. Like you won't hear. It should be a lot quieter.